Good morning. Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
And I'm Lauren.
And this is our beginner body weight and bell practice. What's up today? What's up with you today?
Just went for a light run this morning. Looking forward to using a light kettlebell here in this practice.
Right on. One of our more advanced kettlebell practices is on Tuesday evenings at 4. But in this practice, we use those basics, check in, and all good. Sure. Lauren's checking the Wi-Fi. It'll work.
It'll be good.
It'll be good. Seamless. Let's get started with the breath and some wrists before we continue. To the floor anyhow you want. You could use your little crouch. You could use one of your hinges. Let's set up on the ground. Shake out those hands for a second. Take the fingertips and place them down first. Check. Then that knuckle line or the calluses. Check, check. Then slowly screw those hands into the floor, connecting the palm. And with the head looking between those hands, adjust your knees if you need so that they're underneath those hips. And take 2 big belly breaths in through the nose. 4 seconds in and 4 seconds out. On the inhale, the belly will sink to the floor. On the exhale, we'll pull the belly button into the spine. Repeat for 2 breaths in the chest. Belly to spine, chest breath in, and out. Belly to spine and chest breath in, and exhale. From here, can we lean forward just ever so slightly, and to facilitate that, pull the hands towards the knees. Then press forward through those fingertips, keeping the elbows straight, towards like a child's pose a little bit here. Then 1 or 2 more as we keep the elbows straight, pull the hands into the floor, extending on the wrist. How does that feel? Check in. And then press through the hands to press yourself back. Last one, keep those arms as straight as possible at those elbows as we pull ourselves forward for the last time. And then press yourself back so much, like shooting that free throw. The wrists finish the movement. One more time on the wrists. This time, let's have them face laterally. Fingertips down, then the callus line, and then that whole hand connects. This time with our breath, let's take a big belly breath in. Belly sinks to the floor, and then an exhale, belly to spine. Now keep that belly to spine and return to the belly breath, but don't let the belly button move. And then exhale. Repeat one last time with the belly to spine, the low cavity abdominal breath, and then exhale. Now from here, let's press those fingertips to the right so that we go left, and then press to the left, sending your weight to the right. Use the fingertips. Can you feel the difference between the moment where you might not have power or tension, and then those moments where we have enough push and pull to go back side to side? Let's return to the center, push through those hands, extend through the hips, and shake out. We'll come back to the breath, we'll come back to those wrists. Let's get in a little bit of a lunge here.
Great. We're actually not going to get into our lunge. We will soon. We're going to get to our down dog. So with your hands on the floor, gently tilting your tail to the ceiling, toes are tucked. Lift the knees off the floor, lifting the hips towards the ceiling. Right now, just keep the knees bent and keep your tail tilted long. Now, with that tail staying long, try to straighten out those knees, pushing the heels towards the floor. Take a breath. Rebend the knees. Tilt the tail again to the ceiling. And then keeping that pelvis in the same place, slowly try to straighten those knees. Heels are driving down. Breathe. Let's do that one more time. Bend the knees. Tilt the tail. Slowly straightening the knees. Add a soft bend. Walk your hands towards your feet and extend up to tall. Shake that out. Great. Now from here, we're going to, we're going to do our standing bent legged hips throw with your balance aid at your side. Stand up tall on that inside leg. Gently bend the outside knee, trying to get the heel towards your buttocks. Now, keep that heel tight to your butt as you bring your knee through to hip flexion. Foot is staying underneath, knee is lifted, tail is long. 3, 2, from here, open that leg to the side. Holding that position, staying tall on the inside leg. 3, 2, pull that knee back to center. Brush it back behind us so our quads are parallel. Is your heel still close to your bum? Yes is a good answer.
Trying.
From here, let's rotate in the socket. So the knee's gonna go side and the foot's gonna connect with that knee. Holding that position, pressing your hips forward for 3, 2, the foot is gonna disconnect. Your knee is gonna lower as your ankle lifts, reaching around to the back. Parallel quads again. And then gently to straighten that knee out for a second. Whew, we're gonna go one each way, full circle on this side, and then we'll change legs. Stand tall, bend the knee again, kicking the bum. Bring the foot underneath you, bringing the knee towards hip flexion. Connect with that other leg, with the foot, as you open to the side, number 4. Disconnect the foot, rotate the femur in, ankle lift, draw that circle all the way around the back, connecting the quads again parallel. Now we're going to the back, reaching back but keeping the core braced. Open the femur, open that hip up.
Open
Foot
sesame.
might find the other knee, figure 4 again, and then knee comes to the front. Pull it a little higher if you can, and then brush the knee back and extend the leg. Great. Shake out both sides, and then switch sides. Same thing. Other side.
Other side.
Standing tall. First, we explore the position. Bend the knee, quads stay parallel, heel close to bum, holding that $1 million bill back there. Then pull that leg through to hip flexion. Knee towards chest, spine stays long, you're not curving under. From there, pry it open to make that number 4. Hold, hips pressing forward. Then pull that leg back to center. Brush the legs past parallel. Squeeze the glute by reaching back, and then open it in its socket. Foot towards that knee. Find that number 4 position again, holding. And then unrotate it, bringing the quads back together, and gently straighten the knee for 1 second or 2. 1 each direction. Bend the knee, kick the bum. Bring the leg through to the front, keeping that ankle tight underneath you. Open the knee to the side. From here, disconnect the foot, internally rotate the leg, ankle will lift, reaching back behind you, keeping that belt line level. Legs brush parallel together. We'll reverse it for 1. Kicking back, glute. Rotate, open in the socket, foot finds knee. Hold that for a second. Pry the leg to the front. Lift it a little higher if you can. And then brush the leg back to parallel and straighten it underneath. Shaking it out. Nice. From here, we will end up coming down via our lunge.
Done with those balance aids, I guess.
Done with those balance aids, and I like to be on my side. Pick a leg, step it back into your lunge position. Hips are square forward, shoulders are square forward. Slowly descend through this lunge for 3, 2, and soft landing.
Right on. Level out those hips, or the bowl of punch as we like to call it here, and then take a leg, wiggle it, heel toes to the side. The side could be 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11. Be honest and confirm that the knee is going in that same direction as your big toes. From here, let's take the hand across the chest, does the same leg out to the side, and at the head and neck, rotate to look towards the lateral facing knee. Then turn through the upper body to have the sternum face again towards the leg lateral. Then return the head to center and return the upper body to center next. Repeat. Head to turn, hips are forward and our upper body rotation, sternum towards pointing at the knee out to the side, and then let the head return center and let the torso follow. One more time, head, shoulders, then let's hinge on that hip, placing one hand on the floor. Change your head position towards looking at the floor, nice and slow, and again, let the upper body follow. Where now the rib cage or spine is more or less parallel with the floor. Lead with the head, rotate with those shoulders. Take a breath in and exhale as we move. And for one last time, let's lead with the head, neck, open with the shoulders, and then as in our get up, we'll press the floor away, extending the hips, square up to face center, and core tension, assemble together. Cue that lunge down for us, nice and slow.
Same thing, other side. Other leg steps back. Nice and controlled descent. Again, square forward, thinking your front hip is pulling in as your back hip is pressing forward. Level hips the whole time. 2, 1. Soft landing.
Quads burn when you go slow like that. Holy. Find level. Wiggle out to the side. And again, the leg that's lateral, have that same hand across the chest. From here, rotate with the head, neck first, and then slowly let the upper body follow. Holy, taking my breath away a little bit here. Then head, neck goes center, and then upper body coordinates to follow. Again, head, neck. Add the rotation, keep those hips extending forward. Head returns center, upper body next. Last time, head, check. Upper body turn, check. Then we hinge on that hip, place the hand on the floor. Slowly let the head go to the floor first, and then let the upper body go next. Look to the ceiling with the head neck rotation, and then look more, opening across the horizon through the upper body. Then look down, head neck first, add that rotation through the rib cage. And for the last time, we'll lead with the head neck, and then rotate through the torso. And like our get up, we'll press the floor away. We'll square up the lunge forward, do a little hula, and then high tension on those abs. To stand. And then shake. We're a little bit out of our order here. The green is turning into a pale green. I can barely say it. Let's do some carries and those slow toe lunges, because I really want to get into those today too. So now we have our kettlebells off to the side, where we'll practice some stiff arm strength drills first. And then I know Lauren wants to get into some goblet squats. So it's assembled in front or beside of your kettlebell, and we'll be holding it in our low carry for 20 seconds. Hinge, check. Grip with one hand. In this moment, where are our shoulders? Are they twisted, turned, or are they parallel with the floor, nice and square? Grip, grip, grip. Preload, preload, and lift. Hold out to the side. This is a very heavy kettlebell for you. Please feel free to hold with two hands in the top deadlifter swing position. For 10 more seconds, we'll hold the kettlebell to the side, resisting the load by engaging the full body, pulling to center. Open your stance, return the kettlebell to the floor, stay square, and then barehanded up. Take a breath.
Take that same arm, place it across your chest. We're doing double-sided today, which means we're going to use that arm. So remember which hand you just held it in. That's the arm across your chest. Leg you can touch. Drop back lunge. We're going to take a pause here and do a little something that Ian mentioned there. So from this lunge position, I want you to think about pressing the ball of the foot into the floor to get the heel away. Hold that for a couple seconds.
Use your balance aid to the side.
And then control the down. Let's do that again. Maybe that's enough work, pressing to that demi point. If you want a little more work, can you press to the pointed foot? And then control down through the ball of the foot. Heel comes down one last time, either to demi or trying to point those toes. And then coming back down through that demi point, heel comes down. The arm across your chest is the same as that front leg. Open it up, rotate, hinge, sweep through, find your elbow, and then control for 4 seconds to your back, safe landing. Taking the arm that's across your chest, that's going to end up in firing range right now with your kettlebell or body weight, depending on the skills you've been working on. So if you're in firing range with us, let's cuddle 2 hands, roll to our backside, 2-handed press. When you're ready, remove that second hand, keeping the wrist nice and straight and strong. Elbows straight and underneath the wrist. Shoulders packed and you're juicing an orange in your armpit. Today we might explore that first move, but for now we're just spending another 5 seconds under this bell. Breathing, thinking about our get up pattern. 3, 2, 2 hands on. Bell pulls down with 2 and cuddles. We'll take that same arm across our chest and get up, back up. Foot pushes into the floor, hip drive, pull to elbow. Find your hand. A lift, a sweep. Front hand leaves, front foot moves, both legs up to tall. Nice. Awesome. Now we'll do the whole routine on the other side.
You got it. Again, doubling up on that right side load, little break in the middle, and then right side load again will increase the demand on the body.
Right side.
Which is great. Add progressions. And here we go. Let's lift that kettlebell up with, again, 2 hands for beginners, or join us in that single arm carry. Hinge, pack shoulders, grip with 1 hand, up, preload. Assemble your stance as you wish. If the kettlebell is too heavy, it'll pull us over, but we're strong, using our strength to pull back to center. Use the feet, press into the floor, cramp up the glutes, abs that could take a punch. Breathe in and control out. 5 more seconds. Be prepared to make your adjustments to the stances you need, and then hinge to the floor, stay square, barehanded up. Take that hand, that was my left, and I'll place it across my chest. Making room for that kettlebell, the leg I can touch, drops back in the lunge, and scissor those legs together like Lauren cued in the warm-up. Then from here, we'll tippy-toe it. So, get yourself just right, hips nice and level, and then go to that demi point in the front. That whole ball of foot, trying to keep the big toe and the pinky connected. And then pull the heel back down to the floor. That was actually pretty much a push. This is a pull. We're pulling the heel off the floor on this one. And perhaps can we explore towards the pointed foot? My calf is cramping. My adductors here are saying, holy cow. And then I'll push through the floor to return. One more time, that demi point. Feel that nice engagement of that adductor high up in the hip. Maybe finish with that toe point. Squeeze your back butt cheek. Pull it down with control. Then take that hand again across chest. Wiggle open to the side and add that gorgeous rotation. Hinge on the hip. Hand to the floor. Sweeping that leg. Navigating your kettlebell as you need. Elbow. And then 4 seconds like Lauren to the floor with that plank tension. Now on the ground, we're doing that left side load. Left side load in the firing range. How does the shoulder blade feel? Looking for it to stay flush to the floor and firm up that grip. Super straight elbows, jack up those triceps. Let's do it. We're in a cuddle. We take a breath. We roll, and press. 2 hands on, and then as allowed, take your other hand away. And as Lauren said, think about the get up, the position of the arm. What would come next? Could you do this with a little bit of a load in your get up? Hold for about 10 more seconds. Pack that shoulder, challenge vertical, and breathe. In 3 more seconds, we'll go 2 hands on the kettlebell. Pull it to the hip. Cuddle it. And then that same hand across the chest, Lauren, cue it up.
That foot drives into the floor, extending the hip, pulling on the elbow. Find your hand, tall sit. Pack shoulder, lift, sweep. Hand leaves floor, front foot moves, using both legs to help you up to tall. Great, we'll come back to that first side and we'll do another hold, this time in our rack position. So over top of your bell, using your hinge, we're gonna grip with one, cuddle the other, and pull it up into our rack. Standing over top, hip hinge. 1 hand grips, 2nd hand cuddles. Pack shoulder, brace core, zip to the rack position. If you feel good, remove your top hand. Checking it out. Vertical forearm beside your chest. Still standing up tall, squeezing glutes, bracing core, and keeping the weight even in both feet. For about 8 more seconds here. Also thinking one day, whoa, we could press this bell. 3, 2, 2 hands, hinge, putting that bell between the feet and up without.
Wiggle that one out.
We'll take the same arm and get up down. Leg you can touch, drop back lunge. Control that descent. Front foot opens, rotate and hinge, sweeping the leg through, find the elbow, and slowly descend to your back. With that same arm, we'll either revisit our firing range or try the first move of our kettlebell, or of our get up with the kettlebell. That first move is the elbow, so we'd go cuddle, roll, press with our bell. Don't do it yet, just watch. And if you want, either you're staying here in firing range or hip drive, pull, elbow, first move, control, back down. Maybe you're doing that once, twice, 3 times is enough. 2 hands and cuddle. Whatever you feel like doing, come on down.
I like the firing range, so join me there or join Lauren to that first move of the get up.
From the cuddle position, bottom hand grips, second hand cuddles. 2 hands, roll to your back. Assume the firing range position first. Get organized. Stay with Ian or drive into the floor. Extend your hip. Pull to that elbow. Hold and control to your back. Repeat again. Drive hip. Press to tall. And control the down. With 2 hands, pull that bell down. Cuddle it, and let it go. The same arm, get up, cross your body, hip extend, pull. Find your hand. A lift and sweep. Hand leaves floor. Front foot moves. Both legs to tall. Whew.
I mixed that up. I did my left hand up here, my right hand down there.
Don't confuse us.
So here I go. Right hand on that kettlebell. You're whatever.
I hope you remember.
Same, Ian. Okay.
Hinge. Grip. This is our rack position. Pull. Punch through that bell. Remove the top hand when ready. Feet underneath. Core brace. Butt squeeze. Check yourself out. Do you have a vertical forearm and a nice straight wrist? We don't want that bell pulling our wrist over, and we want our elbow in tight. You're holding your $1 million bill now in your armpits. From Ian's breath, it sounds like we've been here for a while. So 4, 3, 2 hands through and park. I will qualify that I was saying he's using a heavy bell. I'm using a little lighter one. All right. Don't listen to Ian. That arm across your chest. Leg you can touch. Control the down. Hips forward, hips forward, hips forward. Front foot opens. Rotate. Hinge. Sweep the back leg through. Find the elbow and control to your back. All right, we're on that second side or that same arm. And again, whatever you did on that first side, let's try to do it on this side. Firing range, first move, you choose.
Firing range first for that stability of the shoulder, and then amazing stuff on that get up.
All right, ready? Cuddle. Roll, 2-handed press. Get set up. You're staying in firing range, stay. If you're going first move, drive into the floor, extend it, pull on the elbow. Control pressing away from the elbow, keeping the shoulder packed as you find the floor. Repeat again. Drive into the floor, extend the hip, trying to keep that off leg heavy, and on the down. 2 hands, bell pulls down, and cuddle. Great. From here, we'll do our get up on this side. Last get up here today. Hip extension, pulling on the floor, finding the hand, sweeping under, extending the hips, and using those warmed up toes to press yourself to tall. Excellent.
How many get-ups do you think you've done in your lifetime?
Oh, I don't know. It's a hard
Thousands?
question. Thousands?
Come on, 7 years of get-ups. Anyways, we're continuing to learn fun ways to get stronger in our get-up. So thank you for following along.
I guess 10 get-ups a week for a year is 500.
Here we go. Thousands.
Isn't it?
Not to brag, not bragging. Just
Anyway.
again, we can continue to learn.
All right, goblet squat and slow push-up time.
Okay.
The crowd went wild there.
Amazing.
All right, standing over top of our bell. We're gonna use our hip hinge. We're gonna pull, regrip into that goblet hold. Hip hinge. 2 hands on. Pack your shoulders. Pull, regrip down the horns. Elbows in. Adjust your stance to your squat stance. Control, pull yourself down. Up to tall. Repeat. Pull those legs together on your down. No flopping. Purposeful pull down. Purposeful drive up. This is 4 or 5.
One more is 5.
Pulling yourself down. Pressing, but to put that bell down, we'll hinge, hips go back. Up without.
We'll use that hinge and transition to the floor for slow push-ups. Oh my goodness, that kind of took my breath away, those squats right there.
You need me to go?
No. Here we go. Set up that body weight hinge and cue that your shins are vertical and then get to the floor. I got to come a little bit further forward, I think. From a modified position, if that's for you, or from your toes, let's just check in with that body position. Are your ribs connected to your hips? We have a slight posterior tuck of the hip. Squeeze your butt cheeks, brace your abs, and start pulling the floor together as to rumple the rubber beneath us here as we pull our hands to the knees. Oh, Lauren, Lauren's going A+.
Oh, I was doing my slow push-up.
All right. Lauren was pulling herself to the floor. I was pulling myself to my core. Okay, let's do it one more time.
Take a break. While
Let's pull to the floor, and then we'll pull ourselves low for 5 seconds. Find high tension, squeeze your butt cheeks, and pull yourself for 4, 3, 2, and full body tension, press. One last time, squeeze your bum. Find full tension, pull yourself to the floor. Make it harder than it has to be. Full tension, press. From here, tip the tailbone, walk up in the squat or the hinge, extend, shake, check in.
Squat again.
Squatting time pretty soon again. Working on that strength endurance right here.
Over top of your bell. Use your hinge to pick it up, and then we'll adjust our feet to squat. Hip hinge. Hips are higher than knees in our hinge. Grip. Pack shoulders. Pull zip. Step your feet into your squat stance. Might not be that different. Start pulling the floor together underneath you as you drop your hips. And then hoop to tall. As you pull yourself down, your chest is lifted. We're trying not to fold in half here, but to keep our head chest up. Last 2. Pulling down. Driving out and away on the floor to stand. Up to tall. Hip hinge. Bell lands. Up without. Nose breaths to catch it.
Nose breath.
Nose breaths.
Lauren asked what I was dreaming about last night. And dreams are not nose breath moments. Those are nightmares. Nose breath, nose breath, nose breath. Here we go. Set up the hinge. Check that your feet are rooted. Vertical shins, hip hinge, then to the floor. Break some of those rules as you just nestle in to your optimized push-ups position. If that's from the knees, continue, like me. Or, Lauren's cue, join her from the toes. Find full body tension, pull the floor together, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, hiya, pressing. 2 more of those, full body tension, down with control. The head travels with the shoulders and the hips as we press. And then 5, 4, 3, 2, and yep. From here, let's walk to the hinge. Extend the hips. Add the wiggle. And maybe even enjoy some rest, Lauren.
Rest.
No rest for this one, though.
No. We said we do 3 rounds here of some squats and some push-ups, so this is our last round.
I'm in.
Is that enough rest?
Oh yeah.
Good. Over top of your bell.
The wiggles help.
Use your hinge. Pull catch to that goblet. Zip, tight. Adjust your squat stance. Pull. Trying to break parallel at those knees if allowed, but I'd also rather you keep that upper body upright versus going even lower. Last two, keeping tension in the core, in the feet, in the glutes this whole time. Elbows stay in, hinge hips go back, bell lands. Whew. Great. One more set of push-ups though to follow that.
Okay. Cue it up, Lauren.
From here, we're gonna hip hinge, pushing our hips back. Slowly walk yourself out, finding either your modified, or your toe position push-up. Glutes squeeze, pull your shoulders down. Now slowly lower yourself towards the floor for 3 more seconds. 2, 1, press. Repeat, pull together. Squeeze your glutes. Now when you press right now, squeeze your butts even more. Here we go last time. 4, 3, 2, squeeze and press. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, and slowly walk up to tall. That was a lesson I learned when I was trying to press a really heavy bell, was that your hips and your glutes help shoot energy to other working parts. Use your whole body. It'll help.
High tension always, and then exceptional levels of tension when it calls for it, just like in the swing. Let's do some swing drills with our body weight first, and maybe even just go over to a quick pressing groove. And from here, we'll finish our practice with some higher volume swings for that endurance. Check out Lauren's swing. Swing for 3 or 5. Then I'll do the same, I promise. The swing, we step back from the bell, and we're looking for ballistic, high-ya kind of efforts here. Ramrod tall in the plank at the top and parking it. Have you swung before? Follow the bodyweight drills and let Lauren comment on my swing as well.
One more swing example here. Biggest thing you'll notice in your swing is that the hips are staying higher than the knees. That's your hinge defined. And your spine is staying nice and long. Arms are extended out front. Bell is landing shoulder, chest height.
You got it. To time that, let's approach our kettlebell with our funky dance. Get your toes touching the belly of the bell. Then I'll pivot on my left heel so my foot faces laterally, and then pivot on that set of toes. Same on the other side. Pivot on the heel, and then pivot on the toes. As Lauren's doing, rock back just a little bit, and your feet are more likely to find their natural or comfortable foot position. From here, set up the hinge, touch the kettlebell out front, but don't move it. From here, stay at the same level in the sense of not to stand up, but pull the hands towards the groin. Then with the shoulder blades retracted, push the feet into the floor. Hi-ya! Moment here. Then that kettlebell would float towards chest height. Distinction coming up here.
Distinction.
Watch for this distinction. Check it out. Lauren and I are rounding our shoulder blades forward. Do that with us here. But prioritize that we're retracted in the shoulder blades in this position. One more time. Reach forward, useful, but not great in our swing. Retract those shoulder blades for stability and strength. Then press those hands to the hips, feet into the ground, really grab that tension from the floor, and then return the hands towards touching the bell out front. Repeat. Pull the bare hands towards the groin, push the feet in the floor, extending hips. Hands would float, shoulders stay in retraction this time, and then hands down. Time it, let the hands hit the hips, and then we hinge. Return the hands to the front, come up to the same standard, and then add the wiggle. The shadow swing will help familiarize with those unique positions of the swing. There's the hike pass, there's the hi-ya, and there's this beautiful float. Time it for safety and strength. Overhead groove.
All right. Let's cheek clean our imaginary bell to our rack position. Hinge, grip, zip, rack. From this rack position, let's retract our shoulders slightly and engage our lat by juicing an orange underneath it. Think about continuing to juice that orange as you slowly start to press your imaginary really heavy kettlebell towards overhead. Create that tension in your arm by pressing through that 500 pounds. At the top, Hide your ear by shrugging your shoulder. Keep your elbow straight. Show your ear by engaging your armpit lat. Start pulling that bell down into the rack position. Pull. Vertical forearm. Pull, 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 pull. You should be so juiced out there, it's cramping. Gently relax. We'll fake hinge. Bell goes down. Or drop it.
Drop my kettlebell all on the floor here.
This time it's okay.
Okay.
Hip hinge, imaginary pickup. 1, 2, zip, rack. Vertical forearm, lat engaged. Keep it juicing as you slowly press towards overhead. Create a fist, create tension in that arm. Try really hard to imagine that bell. Shrug your shoulder up, pull your shoulder down, don't bend your elbow. Keep pulling that bell back down to the rack position, keeping the vertical forearm. Keep engaging that lat. 2 hands, hinge, imaginary bell down. Nice.
Whew. Takes a lot of work to get that kettlebell overhead, but it can also be a very fun and rewarding experience. Let's take our time in the firing range, groove the overhead with our bare hands, and stick with us for overhead presses. The chop and pop is another bodyweight swing drill to help coordinate and feel that power or ballistic nature of the swing. The chop and pop done slowly will be hands out front. I like to keep my elbows flexed. The chopping action is to brush the hands by the hips. Then we hinge. The popping action is to bring the hands through after the hips. We chop and then hinge. We extend the hips, then the hands go through. Chop, pop, chop, pop, chop, pop. Let's do 3 more. And pop, and pop, and 1 more. And then just shake. At the top, again, that's where we practice that exceptional level of tension through the core, rooting ourselves through the feet. 1 more time overhead, let's groove it out, and then it's time to swing.
Time to swing. All right, imaginary presses again. Pick up your bell using your hip hinge, brace your core, zip, yep. Rack hold. Engage lat to start pressing overhead. Pressing through the roof. Fist tension, forearm tension, all the way up to overhead, straight elbow. Shrug your shoulder, pull it down, keeping the elbow straight. Once you can't pull down anymore, start bending the elbow, pulling that imaginary bell back to your rack position. Keep it in tight, relax, hip hinge, put it down. Shake it, second side. Hinge, 1, 2, zip, rack. Lat engagement, go. Slowly press that bell towards overhead. Core tension, glutes squeezed, you're safe overhead. From there, shrug, reaching up, pull down to lat. Keep pulling. Keep tapping your lat if you like. You should feel it all the way down. It attaches on those bottom ribs. 2 hands, hip hinge, bell goes down, and let's go. Up without.
We gotta pretend. Pretend first with our body weight and our swings. Pretend first with those groove presses to find the tension. Pretending's half fun. Doing the real thing is a lot of work. Let's get the fun and the work balance going here. In this I go, you go swing. We could use the deadlift for repetitions. Just stand over to 1 and return. You could use those body weight drills as well. But if you're on Team Lauren, get prepared to do 5 swings. Is it 5 of 5 here? Yeah, 5 of 5. Nice way to finish today's practice with 5 swings.
For 5 sets.
5 sets is 1 and 2. And at the top, Lauren could take that punch on those abs. Her upper body is parallel with that door frame. Looking good. Gonna move
5
forward.
swings for Team Ian here. So you're picking one of us, going with one of us. 25 swings total today. Ramrod straight at the top. Hips extended, core braced. Also practicing the chop and pop is a great thing to do as well.
You got it. So in between, my chop and pop would time with Lauren's swing like this. Find that rhythm. Find your form to stay strong.
Trying to breathe through the nose as you're doing this. Through your recovery, you're shaking it out from your hands to your feet, but getting ready to enter round 3.
In last night's practice, I made a commitment to keep those pinky toes heavy into the floor on the swing. Strong roots yield big fruits in those kettlebell swings. Set 3.
I knew there was a rhyme coming to that one. Round 3 here, 5 swings. Breathing, and again, time that breath to the hip drive through. Inhale, exhale, in, hex.
Set 3, Lauren's favorite number.
No, set
Set 3 done. Lauren's favorite number, and mine too, because that means we're almost coming home to being finished. 5 swings throughout. Stay fresh. Get stronger. Feel challenged, but stay strong.
5 swings, team in. Finishing up round 4 here. Again, that exhale will help brace the core and protect the back.
Connect that kettlebell out front all the way to the hips. We do that with the grip. We do that with that shoulder pack, connecting the rib cage to the hips. Lauren's done. Last time us.
Last time team in here. 5 swings. 3, 2, and park.
Oh.
Nice. Now, he doesn't know what's coming. Let's do a little breathing drill as we recover. With your mouth closed, breathing in and out your nose, 1 hand belly, 1 hand chest. Take a nice inhale now into the belly. 4, 3, 2, exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, belly for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Adding a bit into the belly, 4. Hold for 4. Into the chest for 4. Exhale for 4. One more round. In belly, 4. Hold 4. Chest for 4. Exhale for 4. Here it is. Hold empty for 4. 3, 2, 1. And relax. Not empty.
Not empty. I'll have nightmares with that breathing again.
Don't admit
But that's okay. That's okay. Sweet dreams. Breathing strategies at night lead to sweet dreams, not nightmares about breathing. So let's keep it going. This has been the beginner bell and body weight. And I'm sweaty.
You are
We're such a
sweaty.
beginner's class. Holy cow. What we love about our training is we do the same things that you are at home. Honestly, every time we train with the kettlebell, we're on camera. At Christmas, we did get some break, and that was nice. We look forward to our breaks, but more than that, we look forward to sharing and celebrating your strength with you. I'm Ian.
I'm Lauren.
And out of breath.
And we'll do
And not
this
out of breath.
beginner basics. As much as it's a beginner, it's the basics, and the basics are so important for your kettlebell skills. Stay strong, stay tuned, take care, and we'll see you soon.
Have a great day.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.